The Zephyrian Empire had ruled the Andromeda sector for 3 millennia. Their crystalline ships patrolled 17 star systems, their biomechanical soldiers crushed rebellions before they could form, and their quantum prisons had never failed to hold a prisoner. Until Marcus Chen escaped. It wasn't supposed to be possible. The quantum cells existed in a state of temporal flux, making conventional lockpicking impossible. The guards were genetically engineered for perfect vigilance, their consciousness linked to a hive mind that never slept. The prison station orbited a black hole, its gravity well serving as the ultimate deterrent to any escape pod. But Marcus hadn't used conventional methods. Day 1 of the hunt, Admiral Krexthul received the impossible report while reviewing fleet deployments. His 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession, a Zephyrian expression of profound confusion. Repeat, that Warden Veltar. The human prisoner designated XB7749 has vanished from his cell. The quantum locks remain intact. The temporal barriers show no signs of breach. Security footage reveals nothing. Krexthul's mandibles clicked anxiously. Humans were relatively new to the galactic stage, primitive bipeds who had barely mastered faster-than-light travel. This particular specimen had been captured after his ship strayed into Zephyrian space. Standard procedure: interrogation, imprisonment, eventual execution. Simple. Deploy search pattern Delta across the Nexus system. One human cannot evade. The might of the Empire. Day 15 of the hunt. The search had expanded to 3 star systems. Marcus Chen seemed to be everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Ships reported glimpsing a small craft near the asteroid fields of Kepler 442. But when they arrived, they found only empty space and strange energy readings that made their instruments malfunction. Surveillance networks across 12 planets had been mysteriously compromised. Not destroyed. That would have been crude. Instead, they had been subtly reprogrammed to create blind spots that moved like shadows through the galaxy. How is one primitive human outmaneuvering our entire fleet? Krexthul demanded during an emergency war council. General Thisara, head of Imperial Intelligence, spread her bioluminescent frills in a gesture of uncertainty. We may have underestimated their species, Admiral. This human appears to be using unconventional warfare tactics we've never encountered. Day 47 of the hunt. The economic strain was beginning to show. 30% of the Imperial fleet had been diverted from their usual patrols. Trade routes went unprotected. Pirates, emboldened by the reduced Imperial presence, struck at merchant convoys. Tax collection efficiency dropped by 18% as colonial worlds sensed the Empire's distraction. Marcus had stolen a Zephyrian destroyer from a supposedly impregnable shipyard. The theft itself was impossible. The ship's bioneural locks required Zephyrian DNA to activate. Yet somehow the vessel had simply walked away under its own power, leaving behind only a message broadcast on all Imperial frequencies. Thanks for the upgrade. The previous ride was getting cramped. MC. Day 89 of the hunt. The first rebellion erupted on Thalashan Prime. The separatist movement had been dormant for decades, suppressed by the constant threat of Imperial retaliation. But with 70% of the fleet now chasing shadows across the galaxy, opportunity beckoned. Sir, reported Commander Vexthul, his voice strained, we're receiving distress calls from 17 different systems. Should we recall some hunting groups to— No! Admiral Krexthul's roar echoed through the command chamber. That's exactly what this human wants. We will not be manipulated by a single primitive organism. But even as he spoke, Krexthul felt the weight of doubt. Was one human really causing this chaos, or had Marcus Chen somehow anticipated the Empire's response? Each failed search operation seemed designed to waste maximum resources while achieving minimum results. Day 156 of the hunt. The Kronos Rebellion had spread to 7 systems. The Mercantile Guild was in open revolt over collapsed trade security. 3 inner worlds had declared independence, claiming the Empire could no longer protect them. And still, Marcus Chen remained one step ahead. His latest message had been particularly galling. technical specifications for improvements to Zephyrian shield harmonics, delivered with a note that read, "You might want to upgrade these before the pirates figure out the exploit. MC." Though Numan specifications were flawless. The suggested improvements would indeed close a vulnerability that Imperial engineers hadn't even known existed. The human was helping them while simultaneously destroying them. Day 203 of the hunt, Emperor Zixthul himself attended the emergency session. The crystalline being's normally perfect composure showed hairline fractures, literal stress marks, in his biocrystalline structure. "Report," he commanded, his voice carrying harmonics of barely controlled rage. Admiral Krexthul's own stress was evident in his molting feathers. 37 systems in open rebellion. The fleet is scattered across 16 sectors. Imperial authority has collapsed in the Outer Rim. Trade revenue is down 68%. And the human... He paused, struggling with the words. "The bow. Human sent us coordinates yesterday." "Coordinates?" "To his location, he's offering to surrender." The Emperor's crystalline structure flared with bioluminescent fury. "It's a trap." "Undoubtedly. But our analysts have run every scenario. If we continue the hunt, the Empire will collapse within a year. If we ignore his surrender, he'll continue his campaign of chaos. If we accept, we acknowledge." That a single human brought the Zephyrian Empire to its knees. Day 205 of the hunt. Marcus Chen sat in the docking bay of the Imperial flagship, hands cuffed behind his back, looking remarkably relaxed for someone facing certain execution. Around him, the most powerful military leaders in the galaxy stared, in a mixture of awe and hatred. "Why?" Emperor Zixthul asked finally. "Why destroy yourself to hurt us?" Marcus smiled, a distinctly human expression that the Zephyrians found unsettling. "Who says I'm destroying myself? You never understood what you caught, did you?" He stood and his cuffs fell away. Not broken, opened. "I'm not just a prisoner who escaped. I'm a systems analyst who spent 3 months in your most secure facility, studying every protocol, every weakness, every cultural blind spot you have." The guards reached for their weapons, but Marcus raised his hands peacefully. "I'm not armed. Don't need to be. You want to know the really beautiful part? Every escape was planned. Every stolen ship was placed exactly where your own response protocols would force you to waste maximum resources. I didn't run from your empire. I made your empire chase its own tail until it fell over from exhaustion." Admiral Krexthul's voice was barely a whisper. "Impossible. No single being could orchestrate." "You're thinking like Zephyrians. Top-down command, predictable responses, rigid hierarchies. Humans think differently. We're improvisers. Chaos is our natural element." Marcus's smile widened. "And you just spent 7 months teaching me everything I needed to know about how your empire really works." The silence stretched for long moments. "So what now?" the Emperor asked. Marcus Chen shrugged. "Now, your choice. Execute me, and spend the next decade fighting brush wars while your economy collapses. Or we can discuss what a partnership between humans and Zephyrians might look like. After all, you clearly need better strategic advisors." Outside the flagship's viewports, the fractured empire waited for an answer that would reshape the galaxy, and somewhere in the back of every Zephyrian mind was the same terrifying thought. If one human could do this much damage alone, what could an entire species of humans accomplish working together? The hunt was over. But Marcus Chen's real work was just beginning.